We are back with a brand new video. In today's video, this is kind of turning into a draft channel, and I do not mind that because you guys have absolutely been killing the views, the likes, and the comments on the draft video. So we're going to continue the draft team, talk about every team's biggest need in the 2022 NBA draft. Shout out to Zach Buckley. This is from Bleacher Report. I know this was published a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's still relevant because, obviously none of these teams have made trades or free agency signings because it's past the deadline. And the lottery is the same, and all the prospects are the same. It's not a mock draft or anything. It's just draft needs, so it shouldn't be be that big of a big deal that it wasn't most recent one, but a couple of weeks is still pretty recent. So I'm gonna go off of Bleacher Report's article, starting off with the Atlanta Hawks. Again, make sure y'all drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want me to do in the future with the draft videos, because the thing about the draft videos is that I can do as many mock drafts, but I think that kind of gets redundant at some point. So with the draft coming up, I will be doing more draft videos as well. I think it's coming up a couple of weeks now. So yeah, let's start off with the Atlanta Hawks. Perimeter defense is what they have here. I actually agree with this. I think I would probably say like wing depth, 3-and-D wings, those kind of guys. I think that Atlanta, I think you gotta have two names circled on your board, and you have to hope that at least one of them falls to you, because both will not fall. So one of them is gonna go, but either someone between Ochai Agbaji and Malachi Branham, one of them will have to fall to you, and you're gonna have to hope that one falls, and those two names should be the names that you have on your board and that you circle. Both will definitely not fall. I think Cleveland's gonna take another. I think Cleveland's gonna take one of the two. I had him taking Ochai in my mock draft, and I had Malachi going to the Hawks, but if Charlotte wants to take Malachi at 15, I could definitely see it, or Ochai at 15, I could definitely see it. So you gotta hope that Charlotte doesn't take your guy at 15 or 13, and you will have at least one of the two available, because I think those two are probably the best fits for Atlanta as far as who could go in that possible range. I definitely don't think they need a point guard or a big. They could swing for the fences and go for a guy like Ousmane Dieng if he falls. I had him going, I had him going at like 12 or 13. But either you can go with him, you can go with Jeremy Sohan, but I would definitely like to see them go with a 3-and-D type player like Malachi Branham or Ochai Agbaji. But yeah, I like the need for the Atlanta Hawks. Perimeter defense is definitely a need. It says right here, Jimmy Butler absolutely torched them. So yeah, perimeter defense for sure. Boston Celtics sharpshooting, I also agree. I don't think the Celtics have a first round pick, but in the second round, there's a lot of shooters out there. They're gonna have a late pick if they have a second round. I don't know if they have a second round pick. Let me see if it says right here. It doesn't say what pick they have, but they definitely don't have a first. I know that. I think they might have a late second. But as far as sharpshooting, you can get guys like maybe Hyunjung Lee or I don't know, Colin Gillespie, someone like that on the back end of the draft who can just catch and shoot. I think that's a good fit for the Celtics, because I think perimeter shooting is probably their only weakness in my opinion. I think they have everything else, but consistent shooting. I just saw Derek White and Horford go off for like crazy amount of points in today's finals game, but I guess I don't know if that's going to be consistent enough, especially in the future. I don't know how reliant Derek White is going to be from the three-point line. So you can never have enough shooting, especially, I say that, but they haven't even played Aaron Nesmith yet, who was the best shooter in college, I think a couple years ago. So yeah, he's going to have to definitely get some run, but if you don't play him, another shooter like maybe Hyunjung Lee or Colin Gillespie could work. Brooklyn Nets defensive-minded role player. I like this. I really like this for the Nets. Name that comes to mind immediately when looking at this description, especially in that 20 range, is Marjon Beauchamp. I do think that Marjon Beauchamp can be a Brooklyn Net type of player, because I think they need defensive wings who are gritty, who are athletic, who are willing to do the dirty work, and who are unselfish. And Marjon is definitely one of those guys. You could go out, get like a Blake Wesley. I would stay away from a pure bucket getter like Jaden Hardy. I think you have enough of those. I think you need some defense. I wouldn't be mad. I've seen some mocks that went with Walker Kessler. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I'm a huge fan of Nicholas Claxton's game. I think if he improves his free throw shooting, he can really be serviceable for them. But Marjon Beauchamp, I think, is the guy that the Nets should have circled on their board, because I think he would fit their team to a T. Moving on to the Charlotte Hornets starting center, I mean, we talked about this in the mock draft. This is as concrete of a need as you can get to. Like, they have a picture of Mason Plumlee here, who's the GOAT, but he ain't gonna cut it as a starting center for the Hornets. So Mark Williams is definitely a surefire pick for the Hornets if he falls, which he probably will, because there's no way that him and Duren will go as both centers, because I don't think OKC is going to take a center, because they're going to take a big with one of their first 3 picks. So either Mark Williams or Jalen Duren, whoever falls to the Hornets, because I've seen some people say that Mark Williams could go above Jalen Duren, but I think either of those the Hornets will be happy with, and they can take with one of their 2 picks in the first round, 13 or 15. Chicago Bulls rim protection. I like this for the Bulls, man. I had 2 mock drafts for the Bulls. Obviously, I had 2 mock drafts on this channel. One I had them going with Walker Kessler. One I had them going with EJ Liddell. Walker Kessler and EJ Liddell are both can both fit the Bulls' needs, in my opinion. I think that the Bulls are a pretty undersized team. Vucevic is not really a paint protector like that. I think Walker Kessler was the best rim protector in college. So, I mean, you get added rim protection there, and I just don't know if there's value at 18 for him to go that high. I'm not a huge fan of Walker Kessler. I prefer a guy like Ismail Kamagate over him, but I know that he's not going to get taken above him, because his name has just not been circling draft boards. I think, there are more popular options like Christian Koloko and Walker Kessler above him. But either of those centers, if you want like a do-it-all Swiss Army knife wing, like EJ Liddell is a perfect option. Tari Eason even, like, you have some options at 18 if you're Chicago. Cleveland Cavaliers, very similar to Atlanta in my opinion. Like I said, one of Ochai Agbaji or Malachi Branham will go 14. That's my prediction right now. You guys can come back to this, but I guarantee that the Cleveland Cavaliers at 14 will go with either Ochai Agbaji or Malachi Branham. One of those will go at 14. I had him going with Ochai in both of my mock drafts, but I wouldn't be mad if they went with the hometown kid in Malachi. Again, another 3-and-D wing. I think Ochai would fit perfectly though, because like he's just very NBA ready, and this team is like trying to push towards towards being a playoff team. And Ochai would definitely help that. He can come in right away and just shoot the ball and play defense. Mavericks shot blocker. I definitely agree. Dwight Powell was kind of a non-factor in the playoffs. He was getting bullied by Kevon Looney, and they do need some rim protection and some shot blocking at that center position. Like I said with the Bulls, man, either Walker Kessler, Christian Koloko, Ismail Kamagate, one of those 3 the Mavericks can have their field day with, whoever they like out of the 3. Like I said, I'm the biggest fan of Kamagate out of those 3, but I know he's not as high on the draft boards as those other 2. So if Kessler falls, you can take Kessler at 26. He has very good instincts for a shot blocker, and Christian Koloko as well, who did really well with Arizona. So the Mavericks can have their field day with any of those guys right there. I don't know why I said at number. Denver Nuggets wing depth. I definitely agree with the Nuggets wing depth. The need. You probably could go at that 2-3 position, especially because I'm not a huge Will Barton guy. I think he can be replaceable. A guy like Jalen Williams out of Santa Clara, I'm a huge fan of his. Like, he's my biggest sleeper in the draft. I think he could be a great fit in Denver. If not, even like a Blake Wesley, he could be another 3-and-D type guy. Can defend and also create some shots. If you want to reach, I don't know if it's a reach, but he's definitely not projected to go this high. But Bryce McGowan's, if you want to take a guy like that, maybe even Jaden Hardy. Wing depth is definitely a need for Denver, though, for sure. Detroit Pistons, I mean, it's pretty simple with the Pistons, man. Second shot creator is absolutely correct, but you can just go with, I think, Jaden Ivey if he's available. If he's not available, then you either go with Shaedon Sharpe or Keegan Murray. I think there was a report saying that the Pistons, I don't know what the report was exactly, but it was a report that said something about the Pistons that I did not like. I think it was talking about Jalen Duren at 5, and I was like, I'm a huge fan of Jalen Duren's, but do not take him at 5, bro. Like please, do not waste your pick and take him at 5. Like, you guys have done a great job building a nice youth movement in Detroit. just take either Ivy, Sharp, or Keegan Murray at number 5, and then you'll be fine. Like, don't worry about taking these guys that are not projected to go as high, especially if you don't really need a center, because I like Isaiah Stewart a lot. So yeah, I would go with Jaden Ivey if he's available. That'd be my prospect for them. But Shaedon Sharpe or Keegan Murray for sure is also available. Golden State Warriors, reliable depth. I think the Warriors have picked 28 or 29. So yeah, Golden State Warriors, I like that. I like reliable depth. I mean, that's pretty vague, but you could probably go with I don't know. I had Terquavion Smith in my mock draft to them. He's obviously gone back to college, but anyone like, imagine like a Bryce McGowan's in Golden State. He'd just go light it up. Even like I don't know, Patrick Baldwin Jr. Like he'd also be like a really good shooter for them. So like, I think Golden State is in a pretty good position. They can just plug and play guys. Like, they have a lot of guys that they haven't even played, like Moses Moody and stuff like that. James Wiseman when he comes back. So they have a lot of depth already, but another guy would not hurt at 28 for sure. 29, Houston Rockets, best player available. Absolutely correct. Whoever is not taken at 3 between the big 3, Chet, Paolo, and Jabari, you just take them at 3. Like, do not overthink this. Raphael Stone, just take one of the 3 and call it a day, because otherwise I think you'll regret it. But yeah, if Chet, Paolo, Jabari, between those 3, whoever's not taken, just take them at 3. Indiana Pacers power forward. I had him going with Keegan Murray, so I think this is a good fit. I think Keegan Murray is a good option for Indiana. Like I said, man, I'm a huge fan of Keegan Murray's. Like, really, really big fan of Keegan Murray's. I think that he can be like a Tobias Harris-esque type player. I think Tobias Harris is a good comp for him. He's kind of a do-it-all for, can score at 3 levels, and I think he's low maintenance, fits Indiana's vibe. So yeah, I would definitely look to lean with Keegan Murray if he's available. Los Angeles Clippers, plug and play reserve. I don't think they have a first round pick, but at the second round, if you want to go with any of these guys, like, I don't know, David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, Gene Montero, like anyone who can fall, you just take them with your pick. I don't even know if they have a second round pick, but yeah, I think point guard is also a good fit. Like John Montero is a good fit with the Clippers for sure. Like point guard, I really like. Yeah, 43 is their pick. I think Montero could fall to 43. But yeah, if he falls to 43, that's a good pick for the Clippers for sure. Los Angeles Lakers, a pick. I don't even think the Lakers have a pick. Yeah, the Lakers don't have a pick, so we're just gonna skip the Lakers. Memphis Grizzlies, highest ceiling possible. I had them going with like Kendall Brown in both of my mock drafts, but they have like 3 picks. The Grizzlies have a ton of picks. I had them going with Kendall Brown at 30, and I think I had him. I think their other pick was like 22 or something like that. 22. And I think with that pick, I might have had him going with a wing player like a Jaden Hardy, which I would like. Highest ceiling possible, Jaden Hardy definitely fits that, because this dude was supposed to be a top 5 prospect, and he went down all the way, projected to being like out of the first round almost. And I think I'm a lot higher on him than a lot of other people are. I think he can be the best scorer in the draft if he utilizes his tools right. So yeah, highest ceiling possible, definitely. I like that for the Grizz. Miami Heat half court scorer, definitely. Definitely. Like, even if a Jaden Hardy falls to the Heat, I would not be mad if Jaden Hardy was taken by Miami. Even a Jalen Williams, I would love Miami to take Jalen Williams. Kennedy Chandler, especially with Kyle Lowry's age, taking a guy like that. But you definitely need some scoring. I also do think you need to address the front court. I don't know if Bam is going to be a 5 for the future or 4, but assuming that he's going to play the 5, even if, like, I don't know if he's going to fall, but E.J. Liddell at 26 or 27 would be a dream for the Heat. He fits the Heat culture really, really well. But yeah, half-court scorer for sure. Like I said, the defense is really, really ferocious, but offensively, if Hero's quiet and if Butler has a off night, you need a guy who can pick up the slack offensively. Milwaukee Bucks perimeter depth. I like this for them, especially because they lost Dante DiVincenzo. They need a lot of perimeter shooting around Giannis. I think that was their biggest, reason they lost Game 7 is because Giannis was getting a lot of looks for his shooters, but they were just not going down. And I think he needs a lot, more reliable shooters. like a Patrick Baldwin Jr. I would love with the Bucks. Same with like a Blake Wesley. Same with the Bryce McGowans. Just guys who can, you know, score the ball from the perimeter. Good fit for the Milwaukee Bucks. Minnesota Timberwolves forwards. I would kind of specify that and say defensive-minded forwards. I just don't want to put forwards because, like, I do not want the Minnesota Timberwolves to take a guy like Nikola Jovic. I think that would be a terrible fit, especially because, you know, I'm not a fan of that team defensively besides probably Pat Bev. And Nikola Jovic on that team would be a nightmare defensively for that team, not for anyone else. The other teams would be feasting on them, especially with Cat in the front court as well. I think you got to take a Tari Eason, a hard worker, gritty player, EJ Liddell, someone like that. But yeah, definitely a forward for sure. I don't think they need another guard. Next, we got the New Orleans Pelicans. High volume shooter like Benedict Mathurin would be perfect for the Pelicans. I would love Benedict Mathurin, but if not, if he gets taken by Portland, maybe AJ Griffin at 8 as well can also be a shooter. Maybe Johnny Davis if you want to take a guy like that. One of those three for sure. I've seen some Dyson Daniels too, which makes sense. They don't really have a true point guard. CJ has been playing de facto PG, but if you want an actual point guard, then Dyson Daniels at 8 would not be terrible. But any of those four, I think the Pelicans would absolutely love. New York Knicks floor general. I mean, this is where Dyson Daniels would be a perfect fit. But again, the problem is that the Knicks have the 11th pick, and I think Dyson Daniels will definitely go before that. So, I mean, you're going to have to take best player available probably at 11. Whether that's Jalen Duren, who I had going in my last mock draft. I mean, you're going to have to do it because I don't think any position is really safe apart from R.J. Barrett. So, best player available for the New York Knicks. I don't think they should pigeonhole themselves into trying to pick one position, especially when the point guard class is not really the strongest this year. I've seen reports that they might be trying to trade into the top 4 and get a guy like Ivy. I would not be opposed to that. Like, take a swing for the fences and, you know, put yourself in the position to get one of the most electrifying players, especially at a position that you need. I like that. But at 11, if they stayed at 11, I would just say take the best player available, whoever that is at 11. OKC, best front court player. Yeah, whoever is the best front court player available between Paolo, Chet, and Bari, whoever gets taken at 1, your favorite player at 2, just take them out of the 3. And then at 12, I would definitely suggest taking a guy like either Ousmane Dieng, Jeremy Sohan, one of the two at 12. And then I think at like 29, which is their, or 30, 29 or 30, their last pick, another forward like Patrick Baldwin or Kendall Brown. I would like the Thunder to take a load up on front court players because they loaded up on guards last season with Giddey and Trey Mann and all these guys, but I think you need some front court depth for sure. Orlando Magic go-to scorer. Thank you, Bleacher Report. I rock with Bleacher Report extra now because I think Paolo Banchero should go number 1. I don't think he's going to go number 1, but I think he should go number 1. I think go-to scorer is exactly what Paolo Banchero is. I think this dude is a flat-out scorer, man. He can score the ball at 3 levels. His handle for his size, his ability to get downhill for his size, it's unique. You know, it's very, very unique. And I would definitely love Paolo Banchero to go number 1. If he doesn't, I like Jabari Smith number 1 as well. I also like Chet, obviously any of the 3, but Paolo Banchero is my favorite to go number 1 for sure. Philadelphia 76ers 3-and-D wing. I'm not sure the Sixers have a pick. They might. I think I saw a tweet from Woj saying that the Nets forfeited their pick to next year, something like that. But I don't know exactly what that means. But assuming they don't have a pick, a 3-and-D wing in the second round will be perfect. You can find a lot of those guys there. Phoenix Suns second round pick. I don't think the Suns have a pick. They don't have a pick, so we're gonna skip the Suns. Portland Trailblazers power forward range looks like they're talking about Keegan Murray, but he's definitely not gonna fall there. So I would say either Benedict Mathurin, AJ Griffin, one of the two. If you want a center, maybe Jalen Duren, but I think I would go with one of the two before Duren for sure. Like either Mathurin or Griffin, I think should go number 7. Sacramento Kings spacing for sure. Like Shaedon Sharpe or Keegan Murray. One of the two I think should go number 4. I'm not a fan of Ivy with Sacktown. I said it so many times. I just don't think he fits that team. But he needs the ball. Fox needs the ball. None of them can really play off the ball like that. Ivy's not the best shooter. Neither is Fox. Take either Keegan or Shaedon at number 4. San Antonio Spurs first or second scoring option. I had Johnny Davis going in the mock draft. I would really love that. Him and DeJounte in the backcourt. But if you need a center, you can take Duren as well. Toronto Raptors, NBA ready reserves. Toronto doesn't have a first round pick, but I think they always find a way to get a second round pick that contributes. So whoever that is, we'll see. But I think they will play some meaningful minutes for Toronto. Utah does not have any draft picks, so we're going to skip them. And then the last team is the Washington Wizards, who I think desperately should try to trade up for Dyson Daniels, because I think they're the team that could use him the most. But if not, then I don't know, man. Johnny Davis could be a guy that you try to get. I just think that you have to get a point guard. Like, I think that is a absolute must. Like I think Dyson Daniels is the Wizards should be trying to call any team to move up into the top 5 or the top 7 or top 8, wherever, to try to get Dyson Daniels and trade up for him, because he would fit their team so well, man. Like, he would just fit their team perfectly. But is that the last team? Yeah, that is the last team. Shout out to, again, Zach Buckley for the article. Let me know what you guys thought about this, man. This is, like I said, it's turning into a draft channel, which I like, but and let me know if you guys have any more ideas that you want me to do. Again, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Again, I'll see y'all later as always. Have a nice day. Peace.